go-kart. Oh my god, look at that. The 2024 Nissan Nismo Z. Is this the best sports car you can get? 100% yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, the looks. I mean, look at it. Stealth gray. It's a exclusive color that you get on the Nismo GTR and obviously the Nismo Z. Looks great on the GTR, looks great on the Z. Look at that. You get a three-piece wing that you don't get on the normal Z. Obviously, you get the red accents, you get the diffuser. Exhaust is the same. Look at these. Look at those. Look at those rims. Same rims you get on the Nismo GTR. One thing I don't see anyone talk about. You want to get a Nismo GTR? I just looked on bringatrailer.com. Went for over $300,000. It was like $311,000 a few days ago. I mean, I'm talking about $311,000 car, and you're in the same rims, same engineers, Nismo engineers. They obviously designed it. They designed all the aero, the bodywork. I mean, look at it. I mean, the Z was a nice looking car before, and the Nismo bumper just takes it to the next level. I cleaned it last week, but it's already getting a little dirty. So one thing you'll notice from the front, the big problem with the Z, the base Z, is you had a huge rectangular grille right here. You didn't get this nose, how it angles down. You didn't get that with the sport or the performance trim of the Z. With the Nismo, they completely rectified that. You don't have any huge square rectangle mouth. It's just a long slanting nose. I mean, it just gives it all that aggression that people want. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can look at this car and not fall in love with it. I mean, you get that Japanese feel, that old 300ZX. I mean, if 300ZX doesn't mean anything to you, then yeah, maybe this car isn't the one for you. But if you're into JDM, Japanese, if you're into tuner cars that have a bunch of mods for them, this is it right here. Alright, let's go inside. What you guys really want to see. So, first thing, you get greeted by those awesome Nismo Recaro bucket seats. I mean, just look at that. Red Alcantara. This isn't going to be a full in-depth review. This is more just going to be a quick experience. Car's already on. Alright, so why is the Nismo the best car you can get right now for the money? Number one, we have to talk about the cost. So many people online in comments talk about how the car is expensive. Not anymore. Just like everything, you need to wait for the market to mature, especially when the car, finally is starting to make it into people's hands. Nissan did everyone a favor with the Nismo. They pumped out a lot of them. If they limited production or only shipped a few models to the US, these cars would be worth, close to 100,000. That's just how the market is, right? If it's rare, it's going to be expensive. There's a lot of supply. There's one dealer I was just looking at. They have four Nismo Z's in stock. It was at least three. It's Maus, MAUS in North Tampa. I mean, you're telling me you can't get a good deal when dealers have multiple Nismos? Of course you can. I'll tell you straight up what I got this for. It was 2,000 miles flat. It was used, obviously. Was at a dealer. $52,900. That's how much this car costs. That's how much I paid. For a sports car, That's what you're looking at. I mean, look at any M3 Civic Type R, you're paying high 40s. So this, Nismo Z, right? For Nismo Z for, $5,000 more than what you can get a Civic Type R for realistically. I mean, it's slam dunk. The sticker on this exact car, if I remember correctly, was $69,000. Obviously, that's outrageous, right? I mean, 69. The market is the market, right? The car wasn't worth $69,000. That's why a year later, or maybe even less than a year since these hit dealer lots, you can get them for less than. You went from 69 to now, high 50s if you're buying brand new. I've seen dealers advertising on the Facebook forums. I think it's called New Nissan Z, the Facebook group. That's where you can probably find some of the best deals, real life experiences. 57.9, 58, 59, high 50s. That's brand new. Get them used. I mean, I'm giving you guys free inside info right now. It's like, I've been watching the market this whole year. Used ones are finally starting to hit the market, and they're discounted a lot. If you wait a couple more months, there's going to be more and more Nismos that hit the market. You're going to be able to get better and better deals. You'll probably beat my deal at 52.9. You'll probably get it, a couple grand less. Maybe even you can finagle 50 flat. Maybe if it has, closer to 10,000 miles, right, you can get 50 flat for it. Maybe, private seller, even better, high 40s, maybe, right? It's all, you just have to do your research, keep an eye on the market. Now, I do think it's a limited opportunity. I think it's a limited opportunity because I don't think Nissan's going to manufacture as many Nismos for 2025 as it did 2024. So I think there's just going to be less available. It's a niche car, and obviously when there's less available, they're not sitting away. They're not collecting dust on a dealer lot. Your negotiating power is going to be less. Let's get to driving. You got Sport, Sport Plus, and Standard. So we're going to go Sport. Sport Plus, Sport, Standard, Sport Plus. We're gonna go Sport. This video, I'm trying to keep it quick, just kind of show you guys what I like about the Nismo. Kind of introduce the car to the channel. I know, I'm not trying to do an in-depth review. I kind of, especially when it comes to the Z's, kind of have a problem with the reviewers. You have you have too many reviewers who they don't do enough research about the car. They don't actually know. They don't live with the car, right? So think about it this way: who are you gonna trust to review a car? A reviewer or an owner? Someone who had to put money down. Someone who had to put cash down, do the research before they bought the car, obviously decided they wanted to buy the car for X, Y, and Z, bought it, used it in day-to-day life. You're gonna trust that guy over a reviewer. Now, because to be a car reviewer, you don't need a certification, right? Of course, if I want to know how good a car is on track, then yeah, I'm gonna trust professional track race car driver. I'm not gonna to know, hey, is this a good car on the track? But for just a good car in general, I'm gonna trust the owner over a reviewer. Let me create an analogy. Are you gonna trust a food reviewer who eats sushi every day and reviews sushi? Or are you gonna trust your buddy or someone who tells you, hey, the sushi at this place is really good? Why shouldn't you trust the quote-unquote food reviewer about the sushi? That's maybe the 10th plate of sushi that guy's eaten that week. Are you really gonna trust? his body is probably sick of sushi at that point. But yeah, there he is trying to tell you, you know, about the taste and the flavor. No, these guys, they review cars every day. They don't know. They become numb. They become numb to speed, to handling, to, you know, what actually makes a car, what actually will make an enthusiast enjoy the car. Right? This is 100% what happens. So my point is, I mean, I've seen reviewers, they complain about the Z. They all parrot the same talking points, right? They complain about it being on an old platform. You know what's one thing I've never heard them talk about? One thing I've never heard them talk about is how it being on the Z platform makes the aftermarket, support for the car insane. It makes it amazing because there's a lot of parts that are interchangeable, right? You could have bought the Z as soon as it came out. In a few months, you had a huge aftermarket, support for it. Alright, so I'm gonna chill out with the ranting. Alright, let's do a pull. I'm gonna put this at the beginning of the video because let's downshift, car's up to temp, second gear, first gear. Oh my god. You hear those burbles. So, believe it or not, the burbles are actually from the speaker, even though they sound like they're coming from behind you, and they sound amazing. So, for me, I don't even care. Artificial or not, I love them. Actually this might be coat, but they sound better than most real burbles. I mean, the gunshots from the back, I'm not a huge fan of. I think the Supra is one of the cars, when stock, it has the perfect amount of burbles with the exhaust. I think it's really hard to, get the nice burble on the aftermarket. I mean, I think it always ends up being too loud, too much like a gunshot, it's not smooth. But yeah, I mean, Nissan decided to achieve that through the speaker. It only happens in Sport and Sport Plus. So when you're in standard mode, you don't get the burbles. You hear that? Hope you guys can see. How quick those shifts get. How quick I can slap those shifts off. I mean, people complain about the transmission shifting slowly. There's a couple things to note about that. There's a couple things to note about that. Number one, the TM oil temp, transmission oil temp, has to be up to temperature, right? 170, I believe, for optimum performance. I mean, the car has to be warmed up in general for optimum performance, right? Everyone knows that. Some people complain about that how quick it pops off shifts when the car isn't even up to temp. The transmission oil temp is at 90 degrees, and they're complaining that it shifts slowly. Obviously, it does that to protect the car. Anyways, compared to my Sport Trim Z, yeah, the car shifts faster. When that car was up to temp, there's still a slight lag when you hit the paddle shifters. On this one, it's immediate. I'm sure a dual clutch of a GTR feels better, but I don't have that. I don't have that to compare. For me, it's as fast as it needs to be. You hit the paddle and it shifts. So what else? I want to keep the video short. I'm gonna break this up into multiple videos for sure. So that's the end of the video. Try to do a better outro next time. Just wanted to finish off with some actual prices that you can find online. So these are in Florida, west coast of Florida specifically. So I'm sure you can find some better pricing, but this is a good overview. So you can see 54, 53.5 with only 1,900 miles on it. Let's go back. And then 54. So all in the low 50s, slightly used. This is your best bet. Sure, with some good negotiating skills, you could probably knock off another couple thousand. Now, the interesting thing about this one in particular, I actually test drove this car, this exact one. So this car, the dealer showed me the invoice and a YouTube video that's on AMS Performance's channel. This car got the Alpha 5 package, so full bolt-ons, tune, E85, and makes almost 500 horsepower to the wheels. Now, the reason why I was not interested is, even though I did give them an offer, was the exhaust. So it's a Boost Logic exhaust, and it has the AMS full cats, and it just made the car insanely loud. And it was even rattling a little bit on the inside, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting a practically new car that feels like it's from 1995. The reason why I still gave them an offer is I basically was saying, okay, if they accept this offer, then it's good enough to where I can change the exhaust, maybe even the cat, and the money I have to put in to making those changes, it'd still be worth it. Full transparency, I offered 50, and they didn't take it. They actually didn't even counter, and it was interesting because where is the price history? Here we go. So when I offered them 50, it was listed for 58 for 59,000 basically. Since they declined my offer, there's been 3 price cuts. So now they're not even that far off from my original offer. So poor job by the salesman to not even counter, but this is potentially a good opportunity for one of you guys. Basically, what you're getting is maybe labor included plus parts, like $18,000 worth of parts and labor that, you know, that the original owner put into it. All right, let me know what you guys think.